Lindy, how did this one get away from you? It seemed like we're at 0-0. Next thing you know, it's 4-0. How did it get away?
You know, I thought they got a couple fortunate bounces. You look at the bounce on the goal where they're flipping it in. You know, the airlifted one that went above us on the first goal, I thought they got a little bit lucky on too there. I thought we started the game good. We had a couple good opportunities. You know, I thought a lot of clutching and grabbing and, you know, trying to slow the game down. But overall, you're not going to win every game. They got to experience a playoff win. Now you experience a loss. We've been a good road team. I'm looking forward to going to Boston.
Lindy, the last 10 minutes saw your team create urgency. What does your team have to do to really make that a consistent practice over the course of 60 minutes now?
You know, our team's been pretty good at creating opportunities and creating energy. And, you know, I think even just being home here for, you know, this amount of time, I think it's sometimes, you know, we played a heck of a game. A lot of energy went in that last game, and the comeback was good. And again, there was no quit. You know, I think the end of the game is just an example that everybody believed we could still get a crack at it. And we had 2 or 3 shots to get it to 3, and if we got it to 3, would have never known.
Lindy, I know you've spoken earlier in the series just about how power plays are going to be tougher. It's so competitive. It's a war of attrition. But at this point, is the drought becoming a concern, and what needs to change with
You
the
know,
power
I
play?
think it's always a concern for sure. I think we'll have to tweak some things. I think if you look at the last power play, we went with a little bit different look at it. We had some personnel that was missing, but we had a scheme that we thought maybe would work a little bit better. And I liked the amount of shots we generated. Still, some of our execution, some of our puck play hasn't been good enough. I think we stabbed a few pucks that we need to hang on to that would give us more zone time. That's just the realization that, you know, where the pressure is coming from again. But obviously at this stage, it's going to be a conversation in the coach's room for sure.
Lindy, the second goal, Geeky's goal from beyond center, what's your take on that, and how much concern do you have with Luke with UP after that goal?
You know, it's a lucky goal. I think, you know, we've seen over the years, you see goals like that. You know, took a little bit of a hard right when it landed, and ends up going in. This team has been so good about we win together, we lose together. I'm not going to sit here and criticize that goal.
Did you think about making the switch going into the third period in goal?
Well, you know, I think if you look at the year, the way it unfolded, how successful we were when we were, you know, alternating goaltenders, and then Al got hurt, so we missed a few games. But just felt that there may be a chance we're going to need him. Never know, may play him next game, but thought get him, you know, just get him a period of play because he hasn't played in a while. You know, when the score's there, it's an opportunity to get him a little bit of action.
And Zach Benson got flattened late in the game, but the response, he must like the response, what the guys pushed back with.
Yeah, the pushback was great. It's playoff hockey. I mean, there was lots of stuff going on. You know, it's a battle of who can suck the other person in, basically. Can I get him to take a penalty in some of these scrums, or can I take a punch to draw a penalty? You know, it's playoff hockey. Our guys have experienced very little of it. Now, in a matter of 3 days, they've been able to experience 2 games. They've been able to experience a win and you know, a loss. That I walked in the dressing room. I said, "There's a lot of things I like about our team, and I like about our play. There's areas we're going to have to get better at, but I don't want to see one person doubting that we're not going to go into Boston and win hockey games."
Do you expect that temperature in the series to kind of go up a little bit between the McAvoy hit and, you know, the Zadorov thing and things like that? Like that, maybe they'll try to drag you into more of some of that.
Yeah, well, you heard. He said they're bigger and more physical. So yeah, for sure. I'm a little worried.
Lindy, would it be any possibility Would it be any possibility to use one of your speed forecheckers on the power play who get in there, win the battle, and head to the net?
Which one do you want to use?
Maybe Beck Mallenstein I had in my head, and then maybe
On
I'm
the-
being silly, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
you might be, I mean, you might be being silly. Yeah, I know. I think there's an execution element that we're just not executing at a high enough pace. So, you know, when we hit the line, we've got good enough players. It isn't about one player flipping out. You know, we went on long stretches that we were around 24%. We went like a 30-game stretch. So, yeah, it's been a little frustrating. We had some good looks tonight that, you know, could have been goals again, that didn't. But I don't believe that's the answer. Paul, thanks.